And people knows only the bad thing. So with the
শুক্রবার সন্ধ্যায় জামাইকা মুসলিম সেন্টারে প্রথমবারের মতো পরিদর্শনে যান নিউ ইয়র্কের মেয়র BillDeBlasio। ঈদুল আজহার দাওয়াত সময়মতো রক্ষা করতে না পারলেও জামাইকা মুসলিম সেন্টার পরিদর্শন করে সন্তুষ্টি প্রকাশ করেন DeBlasio।
First of all, I really appreciate the warm acknowledgement that has been provided to the members of the NYPD tonight.
এ সময় প্রধান অতিথির বক্তব্যে নিউ ইয়র্কের মেয়র নিউ ইয়র্ককে পৃথিবীর সুন্দরতম শহর বানাতে মুসলিম সম্প্রদায় সহ সকলের সহযোগিতা চান।
It reminds you what's possible. It reminds you what we all have in common. It reminds you that this is our common home. This earth is our common home, but for all of us, this city.
মেয়র বলেন, কিছু সংখ্যক সন্ত্রাসীর কারণে পুরো মুসলিম সম্প্রদায়কে দায়ী করার কোনো কারণ নেই।
Honored to be at Jamaica Muslim Center, which has done so much. The growth of this center, the extraordinary work, whether with the youth, with the seniors, everyone, every age in between. This is a place of great success, great accomplishment. Salam alaikum. Such an honor to be with you tonight. I want to thank Dr. Rahman for his leadership, and I want to particularly thank him for agreeing to be part of our Clergy Advisory Council to help us to bring the voices of faith from all over the city together in common purpose. And that is good for all of us. And I would tell you at the outset, when you see faith leaders of all faiths in one room together, because they care for all people and they care for this great city, it reminds you what's possible. It reminds you what we all have in common. It reminds you that this is our common home. This earth is our common home, but for all of us, this city. And we cherish it. And part of what has made New York City so great for generations is that we extend a welcome to all peoples. We embrace every kind of people. And this community has contributed so much, not only here in Jamaica, not only in Queens, but all over New York City. Thank you. So it is an honor to be at Jamaica Muslim Center, which has done so much. The growth of this center, the extraordinary work, whether with the youth, with the seniors, everyone, every age in between. This is a place of great success, great accomplishment, and one of the true centers of the community. So it's a special honor to be here. I want to thank, first of all, I really appreciate the warm acknowledgement that has been provided to the members of the NYPD tonight. I want to thank you again, Captain. I want to thank the Captain. I want to thank all the men and women of the 107 precinct that serve this community so well. And I want to mention a group of people, some of the leaders of whom are here tonight, but here's something we need to talk about more often in this city. There are 900 good men and women serving our city, protecting all of us in this city. 900 members of the NYPD who serve with distinction. All 900 of them happen to be Muslim Americans. So there's a lot of good news to celebrate. I want to thank all of the leaders here tonight, all of the people who helped to found this tremendous center, the board members, all the imams associated with this center. I want to thank the elected officials, Council Member Rory Lansman, Council Member Danique Miller, who I know value this place. And then members of my administration, you already heard Sarah Saeed mention. I want to thank Sarah for her great leadership. Charles Paul, you can't miss Charles Paul anywhere. Thank you, Charles, for your great leadership. Now, it was very important this evening to bring with me some of the great leaders of our administration for working on things of concern to the community and certainly to everyone here at the center. First, my Commissioner for Community Affairs, Marco Carrion, who has worked deeply with this community all over the city. Thank you, Marco. Second, a woman who protects the rights of all and ensures that no one is discriminated against in New York City. Our Chair of the City Commission on Human Rights, Carmelyn Malalis, thank you for your leadership. And finally, our newest commissioner, and I know that here at the center there are many, many successful small business owners. I know there are many people here who have lived the American dream and have built a business from scratch and now employ many people in the community and are doing something that is one of the real foundations of this community and of all of Queens and all of the city. The small business owners mean so much to us. Our new Commissioner for Small Business Services, Greg Bishop, is right here. So, I have to tell you, this city is a stronger city. This city is a stronger city because every kind of community is here. We are a stronger city because of the contributions of the Muslim community. That is a fact. But we know as a city government that we have more to do. For the whole city, we know we have more to do, but we also have an important mission to deepen the relationship between the Muslim community and the city government. We believe that is important for all. We believe that wasn't done enough in the past. We know, and I could hear immediately, in the appreciation that the leaders of this center have for the NYPD, the appreciation you have for the efforts to protect the community through things like the speed bumps and the one-way street. This is a community that wants to have a close working relationship with the city government. It's up to us to make sure we are meeting that and we are creating that deep partnership. That's what we intend to do in all parts of this city. Our Muslim brothers and sisters contribute so much, and the city government should honor that by ever strengthening the bond. Now, we know we are living in a difficult moment in world history. And I want to thank the leadership of this center for the very clear message you've sent, the strong condemnation of the attack in California, the clear message that this is a religion of peace, that there are 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. And who are they? Overwhelmingly, like all other faith communities, overwhelmingly law-abiding, devout, good people. And the few in any community who have chosen a negative path and a violent path do not define the rest of us. But all of us, when we see an attack, as we saw in San Bernardino, when we see an attack, as we saw in Paris, we know those moments bring out so much emotion, and they always bring out some voices that tell us we cannot possibly live together. You can depend on it, sadly. When those moments of crisis occur, there will always be some voices telling us that the dream of an inclusive, respectful society can't possibly work. We reject the notion that we will be torn apart. In fact, we believe after each moment of tragedy even more that we must attain the dream of an inclusive society where all walk together in harmony, in equality. We reject hatred in all its forms. And we need to be clear that the cycle of hatred is such a dangerous one. Incidents occur, and they are tragic, and they are awful, and then some people are tempted to lash out. And we know that members of the Muslim community are deeply concerned. Innocent people law-abiding people going about their lives, feeding their families, taking care of their community, they know that they could be victimized because of the anger and frustration that wells up in others. We are here to say that with every tool we have as a city, and with all of the capacity of the greatest police department on earth, we will protect this community. We reject in New York City hate crimes of all kinds. We take them very seriously against any community, against any kind of person. And the NYPD, again, deserves tremendous praise because it has set a gold standard that if there's an incident of hate, if there's an act of violence against someone because of who they are, the NYPD pursues that perpetrator and makes clear that there will be consequences. And that has set a standard in this city that has helped to stop those kinds of horrible incidents. So if someone walks down the street in this city and simply expresses their culture, their tradition, their faith, if a woman wears a headscarf, she needs to know that she will not be the victim of discrimination or bias or a hate crime, just for being And in that vein, we ask of everyone here to be our partners, because the NYPD is as good as you help it be. We can only stop hate crimes if they are reported and if we have the full support of the community in pursuing those who have done these acts of hate. The NYPD needs you to be the partner to stop these acts of discrimination. And we know something else, and it's important to say it out loud. This community, this Muslim community of New York City is an ally in the fight against terror. We need to be clear. The people in this community desire peace and harmony and understand a sad fact. When acts of terror occur, all communities suffer. We know this is not simply rhetoric, this is fact. We knew it on 9/11. The Muslims who were lost, the New York City residents, the Muslim Americans who were lost side by side with their Christian and Jewish and other brothers and sisters of all faiths. There was a tragic, non-discriminatory dynamic that day. Innocent people of all faiths died together. And we know in terror attacks, as we've seen in Paris and elsewhere, those who propagate the violence are so indiscriminate. They don't care if they kill a man or a woman, a Muslim, a Jew, or a Christian. They simply want to kill. And that is against everyone's interest. That is against every family. The last thing terrorists want to see is respect for all peoples. The last thing terrorists want to see is inclusion. The last thing terrorists want to see is democracy, respect for human rights. Their entire construct is based on division. But it's incumbent upon us in a free and democratic society to therefore live up to our best ideals so that every member of the community knows this society fully is available. All aspects of the society are available. All the good of this society is for you. All the opportunities are for you, like every other of our brothers and sisters.
Yes. Yes.
Now, a truly inclusive society works every day at achieving equality and inclusion. And I have to tell you, in the original concepts of this republic, we talk about creating a more perfect union. It's a beautiful phrase. It acknowledges as human beings this work is always something we have to strive for, something we have to redouble our efforts for, to create a more perfect union. And that means working for greater equality in many ways. When we talk about the Eid holidays, that's about respecting the equality among all the great faiths.
Yes.
And I will be brief because there's obviously people who come here to worship and have had long days and long weeks. but I'll make it simple. Our vision is to reach every part of the human family, so we know that people need good schools for their children, and we're so proud of the pre-K programs that you have started here. And we know people need affordable housing, and we are committed to the biggest affordable housing program in the history of this city, and that will benefit this community too, so people can live in the neighborhoods they love and have done so much to build. And we know that people need to be healthy. Families need access to health care. You can't have a truly equal society if something as fundamental as health care is available to those who have resources but not to those who don't. We've made some strides in this country in recent years on making sure health care is available to more people. But let's be honest, that has been primarily about physical health care, not about the other part of the human reality, which is mental health care. And there's a stigma in our society, and it's in every one of our communities, that we have to overcome. Because everyone, as human beings, knows mental health challenges are part of all neighborhoods, all communities. We now, in this city, are trying to bring to the fore new opportunities for people to make sure their loved ones, if they need access to mental health care, can get it in every community, in every language. And I want to emphasize, in every language, in every culture, in every tradition, making sure that the help we provide fits what a community actually needs, what will actually be effective. Our plan is called Thrive NYC, and I want you to know about it. You'll be hearing a lot more about it in the coming weeks and months. It was created, by the way, with feedback from communities all over the city, with ideas from communities all over the city, including from the Muslim community, helping us perfect an approach that could really serve all, so that you will simply need to make a phone call. If you know someone needs mental health services, they will be available. And we know that there's one piece of this that particularly needs to be talked about openly and honestly, and that is for people we honor in some ways the most in our society, the mothers. The mothers of our society who are, we ask so much of them, but who have to deal with mental health challenges too. And one of the things my wife Shirlane, as our First Lady, has worked on is maternal depression, a very serious issue, an issue that doesn't get the attention it deserves, it doesn't get the dialogue it deserves. But we know many, many women work so hard and yet suffer from an illness like any other illness and deserve support and help, and this administration will make sure they get the screening and help they deserve. I said to you a few moments ago that in this community there's an extraordinary tradition of business success, of creating businesses that have thrived, and of building something for the next generation to benefit from. But we also know that this city government over the years wasn't always as good to small business as it should have been. And this is something that, again, if we want something that will unite all New Yorkers, whether they're Muslim, whether they're Christian, whether they're Jewish, whether in the Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn, or Manhattan, if you are a small business owner, you know the city government has often been too hard on small businesses. Too many fines, too many arbitrary rules, too many burdens. I see some nodding heads. Well, I know the council members agree with me on this. And we have now worked over the last 2 years, and I'm proud to say we have cut the fines on small business in half, 50%. And with our new Commissioner, Greg Bishop, leading the way, we're going to go out to small businesses all over the city. We're going to work with a very simple idea. We don't want to punish. We don't want to fine. We want you to succeed. There are, of course, as with any society, any city, any government, there's going to be rules, there's going to be regulations to protect health, to protect safety. Those are fair. But we don't want to punish. We want people to succeed at achieving compliance with those rules. So we're going to teach people. We're going to educate them. Not coming first like a bill collector, coming first as a teacher to say, here's how we can do things better. And not just in English, in Bengali, in Arabic, in Spanish, in all languages that people need information in. There you go. Want you to succeed. When your small businesses succeed, the community at large succeeds, the city succeeds. Your success is our success, and we will help to achieve it. Thank you. I conclude by saying it has been a tremendous honor to be with you. This city, this blessed place, this beacon to the world has succeeded because it is the city for everyone, and we will ensure and we will pass to the next generation that tremendous tradition of inclusion, tolerance, understanding, and unity. It is my honor to be with you. Thank you. God bless Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, we need that day we need you.
Of your commitment, dedication, outstanding leadership. First, I would like to welcome our beloved mayor of the city of New York. We know the New York City is a blessed place for immigration. It is from centuries. People are coming here, and we know there are 150 languages spoken in the city every day. Being a physician in the city, working in the city hospital, we see the tremendous diversity of this city, and we are blessed to have mayor who has said plain and clearly in the front of everybody that they will welcome people, those who are torn apart with the war and violence, and he will not refuse them because of their ethnicity or religion. So we applaud for mayor for that. Muslims have long history in this country from the time of Columbus and before, and we have seen Muslims are coming as a slave from the Africa. After that, peoples are coming from Arabs, Balkan area. Lately, in last 40-50 years, coming from Southeast Asia and other Asian countries. And Jamaica Muslim Center is the fruit of this our predecessor who worked hard, earning dimes and dollars, and bring this nice facility for us. We appreciate their work, and Jamaica Muslim Center is committed to work and bring this city as a better place. We are working for tolerance. We are educating our children to be moral being, good human being. At the same time, they will be successful in their career as a physician, as a businessman, and different parts and different walks of life. That is our goal. And as a matter of fact, last week we had a conference and we taught our children not to be victim of, especially in the internet. There is so many informations. They are not representing Islam, and it's coming to them, and they don't know what is right and wrong. And unfortunately, we have seen with simple misguided information, people can be misguided. You are very right. So we made a program and we taught our children that what is Islam? Islam is the religion of peace. If you read the history, you will see Islam is not to take revenge, to forgive their enemies and have a peaceful life. This earth belongs to God, who created for everybody. Muslim, Jewish, Christian, atheist, whether they believe or not, it doesn't matter. It belongs to everybody. And we have to work with them and live together. And New York City is the best example. If you can see, the people can live together with the beautiful, with their diversity, but they're unified. So I am congratulating our elected officials for their help and support. the property value has risen significantly because people want to come here, they want to live here.
It's good to be here, Mr. Mayor. It's great to welcome you to this community, welcome you back to this community. I know that you have been here before you were a mayor. You were a councilman at one point too. So you know what it's like being a councilman. You really get to know your communities. You get to build strong friendships, strong relationships. I've had the privilege of representing this community first in the New York State Assembly and now in the City Council. We've shared many, many successes together. You've heard some of them this evening, from what might seem like a small deal, the one-way street on 168th Street, to really, really big, important stuff like the senior center. You've done that with the cooperation and support of your administration. It may not have made it up to your level, Mr. Mayor, but just a couple of days ago we had your Commissioner for Immigrant Affairs, Bijar Agarwal, was here to come and look at our senior center. And part of the secret of the success of this community in New York City is a bit of a contradiction. On the one hand, we don't care what someone's religion is, or race is, or sexual orientation is, or gender is. We don't care. Everybody cares about the things that you're fighting for: affordable housing, education, pre-K, healthcare, you name it. But on the other hand, we do care, because each community has its own special and specific needs. And that's what we've been trying to address here in this Muslim community in Jamaica Hills. So, Mr. Mayor, it's an honor. It's to have you in our community, and it's an honor to call you a friend of this community.
And people knows only the bad thing. So with all of your help, we'll do good safety. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all, and and I again thanks our elected officials.
এ সময় আরও কয়েকজন ঊর্ধ্বতন কর্মকর্তা বক্তব্য রাখেন।
Shows that we can stand together, act as one, strengthen communities, and become all part of the greater whole, which is what you see here together.
Mayor directly or indirectly আমাদেরকে হেল্প করেছেন এবং ভবিষ্যতেও আমরা পাবো এই আশা করছি।
So please be careful and be watchful, see what you are seeing, and let other people know that if you see anything suspicious.
His message was clear that we're all equal in the eyes of law, and we will not be treated anything lesser than a citizen. We are being part of his city. New York is a big place for everyone to be living peacefully.
জামাইকা মুসলিম সেন্টারের সভাপতি ডাক্তার ওয়াহিদুর রহমান স্বাগত বক্তব্য রাখেন এবং সকলকে ধন্যবাদ জানান। সভাটি পরিচালনা করেন সাধারণ সম্পাদক